The following is a preview for the next Ultra Vegito chapter and may contain spoilers. Click off now if you'd rather wait.
But before we continue, today's video is sponsored by Factor 75, a service providing you fresh, ready-prepared meals that support even the busiest of lifestyles. Which means Factor cuts out stressful meal planning and extensive meal prepping, not only saving you time, but also taking the guesswork out of what you're going to have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And don't forget, their meals even cover keto, low-calorie, vegan, or vegetarian diets too. And when you have such a variety of options like that, 27 plus meal options in fact, then there really is something for everyone. Meal plans range from 4 to 18 meals per week, and you can add more or reduce the number depending on your specific needs. You can easily modify food preferences and even skip a week if needed. This is the perfect way to avoid all those fast food takeouts you waste your money on, with no-nonsense delicious food that's ready quickly. Healthy, fast, and saves you time and hassle. So what are you waiting for? Click my link in the description or go to go.factor75.com and use code POGCMAFEB50 for 50% off your first box. Once you click, my description will live update to count up the purchases. Enjoy.
Vegeta, why? Why are you doing this? We've done just fine so far. The destroyers who took our family away. We've got them all! The members of the Five. We have everything we need to beat Zeno as is! We never absorbed Whis or Jiren. What makes sparing Broly any different? But Vegeta, continuing his unyielding smirk, would just respond, "The difference is, Kakarot, that I know what it takes to win, and you do not! Your typical optimistic attitude won't change the fact we are continually outclassed every time a new god arrives. Whether it be the fourth, the fifth, or the priest, it's always foregone that we will either die or just scrape by. Whis would have made no difference to our power, and the Grey Man just truly was yet another victim of these gods. Broly may be someone we knew, but now he too is one of those scum. And above all, his infinite potential is what will be key to our victory, whether you know it or not. Now enough of your softness. Apologize to Broly as much as you want once his energy is ours. Leading to Vegeta immediately then jumping forward at seemingly an unprepared Goku, ready to continue their long-awaited battle for supremacy. With Vegeta's first punch though being parried just perfectly by Goku's elbow. Why you? And his second similarly having no effect, as Goku would suddenly vanish from the prince's sight. Only for, of course, Goku to appear directly behind Vegeta, falling at speed with his hands clenched together and ready to slam hard on Vegeta's head. You'll have to try harder than that to save Broly, Kakarot. But it would seem Vegeta would be far from taken off guard as he instantly turns his head around with a smile before jumping high into the air to escape while Goku is left destroying the ground below. Vegeta! But once zoomed in, Vegeta just cannot stop laughing, almost taking a page out of Vegito's book as he looks down and ominously says, "Even though our powers may be the same, our fighting ability remains completely different, Kakarot. And that includes the potency of our techniques. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one way to decide this." As immediately following this, balls of energy begin to form directly within the hands of the prince.
Leaving a partially confused Goku to figure out. Only one way to decide this. I guess that only means one thing with Vegeta.
Gallic Kamehameha!
As instantly reacting to each other, both would bring their hands together into iconic positions. One powering up a large purple energy ball for his signature Gallic gun, while the other powers a large blue ball of energy for his famous Kamehameha wave until...
Gun!
Both would blast off that full power, rage and conviction engraved into their eyes as they both give it 100% to win the energy wave battle, and ultimately take control of what Vegito will do next. Doesn't look like this will decide anything, but I know what will. As Goku surprisingly will then suddenly bear a smirk as he places 2 fingers on his forehead and begins vanishing. Instant transmissioning behind Vegeta once again, but this time with Vegeta far too concentrated on his energy beam.
You coward!
Eventually realizing just far later than last time. Vegeta then would quickly try his best to turn his body just in time to meet with Goku's arriving hands. Eventually ending with the 2 Saiyans meeting perfectly as their hands interlink, both staring at each other with anger as they both try to gain the upper hand. But Goku, mid-struggle, would begin yelling, "Vegeta! You haven't changed. You haven't changed at all. You're still the same as always. Selfish and obsessed with getting stronger no matter what you have to do to get it. Just like you did with Babidi. You've forgotten why we're even doing this. We've got our revenge. We've honored our friends already. Now we're in the home stretch. All we have to do is overcome whoever's in front of us with our own power. Just like we always have. We don't need to harm Broly. He isn't our target.
Shut up!
But in response, suddenly a wave of emotion from the prince would come, as tears fall from his eyes out of nowhere, and he yells back,
It's you who's selfish, Kakarot! It's you who clings to your foolish ideals and just expects me to go with them! You are the one who has forgotten why we fight! Why these gods are all the same! They all see us, see our loved ones, as nothing but disposable pieces of waste! And each time we faced a new god, each one has pushed us to our very limit! We've gotten lucky! That is the only reason we still survive! But I will not rely on that anymore! Broly's abilities are just what we always needed! The natural abilities of a true legendary Saiyan! Immortal! And if he needs to be forced into our fight as punishment for standing around while my family were destroyed, then so be it! Because I will bring everyone back, Kakarot! I will bring my Bulma back!
As with a river of tears running down the face of the prideful Saiyan, on his mind, all he would be thinking of would be his late wife. But these sudden thoughts over his deceased family would trigger something deep within Vegeta, as his teeth begin to bare wildly and his energy suddenly starts to flex in dark coloration, as his pupils, much like Broly, begin to disappear completely. But that perhaps may be the least of his changes to come. As suddenly, from the top of Vegeta's skull, unbelievably, the stumps of 2 horns would begin blasting outwards, this time reminiscent of Vegito himself. His whole body still convulsing and pulsing in veins as his power level begins to reach an unmatched state until... In a crazily familiar sight, Vegeta finally reveals himself in what looks like a demon form of his own. His horns now fully grown and blaring outwards as his eyes now turn black with the same purple pupils of Vegito, now looking more like a twin of the God Killer than the Prince, both in appearance and power. And if you want more, the next video is already up live on my Patreon right now for over 3,800 plus incredible patrons who are getting early access episodes for life, as well as actively seeing hidden Ultra Vegito content. And if you want that too, head to my Patreon to see the full next video featuring true Demon Vegeta and is yet another very long episode. So join now and talk to me. Links are in the description and pinned comment.